Bears games. 2 tickets for you. Cavs, Bucks on Friday the 29th. Good luck. Caller 10. These are yours. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
The Alan Cox Show.
Is planning to use to crumble the morals of America is this rotten, filthy, dirty, lewd, lascivious junk.
On 100.7 WMMS.
$35192. Want to send me a text? AlanCoxShow.com. If you're watching live, thanks again to Hermeeth McMisfit. Cavs will play tonight. They're in Orlando. Take on the Magic at 7 o'clock. So we'll roll out at 6:30. Get your pregame coverage underway with young Michael Snyder and the whole gang there. And then that'll be that. We mentioned the Browns won. They said Joe Flacco will play the remaining 4. There's got to be only 4 or 5 games left this season, but that he will start for the remainder of the season. Joe Flacco's job the rest of the way. It's got to be a weird position to be in, though, where they're just waiting for the guy that they're paying hundreds of millions of dollars to come back and start playing again. It's not like you're in a situation where they're like, is Joe Flacco going to be the new guy for the Browns?
No, but it does put him in a situation where if he performs well with the Browns, another team might go
somewhere
and
else.
scoop him up. So he's going to have options after the season because he's shown that he can still play at a pretty high level.
You know where he should go?
Home.
The Bears?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, they got a guy that's doing pretty well. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC.
The Bears are going to get the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Bears are going to end up, although Robbie Gould retired, and say what you will, in my heart, Robbie Gould will always be a Chicago Bear. He did a cup of coffee in New York, I think, and then, of course, he played the last decade or so with the 49ers. But Robbie Gould, who was easily the highest paid guy on the Bears, I think he might have been the highest paid kicker in the league for a while. He's the all-time leading scorer in Chicago. The guy just couldn't miss. And love the guy. He's a young dude. He's played a lot of seasons. He's retiring at 41. He just turned 41.
That's old in football years, though.
It is, but you still got a lot of years ahead of you. I mean, it's not like he's out there getting beaten up. That would be old if you were like, he's a kicker. You're standing there waiting to go out and just collect your checks. So when I had first moved back in 2006 to Chicago, the year they went to the Super Bowl with frigging Rex Grossman.
That's one of the most impressive things. That's almost like going to a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman as your quarterback is incredible.
And they really threaded the needle that season. Because it's not like he was a once-in-a-generation talent, right? I mean, Rex Grossman
No, he was not.
He was...
That was a defensive team.
Yes, it was. Devin Hester and all those guys. But Robbie Gould was the first Bears kicker to go to the Pro Bowl. And so when he left, it was like a big deal when he left.
Do you think kickers have an easy job or like a lot of pressure?
It is an incredible amount of pressure.
That's what I mean. They're only out every now and then.
Cade York, the guy that the Browns drafted last year, he started off his career looking real good and then became a head case and can't make kicks.
Hard to be consistent.
It's really, really stressful.
Because I feel like regardless of how well or poorly the team plays, irregardless of how well or poorly the team plays.
Don't do that. Don't screw her up like that. Don't pound cake her right before she leaves.
But no, my point is
I just wanted to fit in New York City.
Don't do that.
The team could play terribly, and if you miss the last final kick, it's still going to somehow come back on you.
Mm-hmm.
Or same thing if you make it. Oh, they made the kick that saved the game. Like that just to me is like, sure, they're not on the field every play.
Well, you have to make it more than you don't make it. If you're one of these guys that never makes
you got to make it a lot more than you don't make it.
That's right.
You need to mostly make it.
You don't want it to be a 1-to-1 ratio. Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you're a guy that's out there and you make 8 out of every 10, that's good.
Right.
Nobody's going to look at you and go, you suck. It's the guys that get out there with a whole lot of hoopla and then can't produce. And he's from middle of nowhere, PA. But he's still a young man, I think, 41. And a nice dude. Some guy from Akron.
LeBron James?
Named LeBron James. I don't think I'm familiar with him. But he's the MVP in that in-season tournament.
Hey, he won.
Who knew that? I was going to say, I didn't even know that. I didn't know quite what it was. I would just see that this is an in-tournament season game. Okay. I didn't
They
know.
had the weird floors.
I didn't know how it culminated.
The Lakers beat the brakes off of the Pacers, and LeBron won the in-season tournament first MVP. So he won the first one, the NBA Cup, and the first MVP of the NBA
Cup. Why is this? Does this matter? Like,
sports betting.
Is that what it is?
I mean, it makes people, it changes the way they play in season because you have to win by a certain amount of points to make it to the knockout round. So it makes those games more interesting early in the season.
Every time this is described to me, it sounds like when little kids make up a game. And they just make up the rules as they go.
Yeah, that's how games are made.
Yeah, but it's like I know they're not changing it, but they're sitting there like, okay.
Basketball wasn't passed down through God. It's just made up.
Basketball, but then they're like, okay, but you got to make sure the points are right, and this is a different cup, and we're gonna have really cool floors. Like, it doesn't it sound like a 6-year-old came up with this idea?
I mean, I've never heard a 6-year-old wax poetic on the state of the floors in a game, but I take your point. Yeah,
Want them to look like lava or not?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You can't touch it though.
Yeah, so the Lakers are the only team in the NBA to have won the NBA Cup, and what a well thought out championship name that is. Hey, the NBA, what should we call this? I don't know, NBA Cup? Got it, nailed it. Don't even need a second suggestion. 123-109 over Reggie Miller and the Pacers.
Nope. Nope, never mind, just go on.
So they lost by a pretty sizable margin. For whatever reason, when you Google the results of that, Google puts a whole lot of fireworks on the screen for you.
Neat.
Pacers v. Lakers. So whether or not that's going to get the Pacers coach replaced, people are already people are already calling for his firing because they're going, this guy couldn't even win the NBA Cup. A guy named Rick Carlisle is their coach. He's been around for a minute. Remember when he was with the Pistons? But they're calling for Rick Carlisle's head. How could you deprive us of the inaugural NBA Cup? To this dude from Akron that no one's ever heard of before. Some LeBron-y come lately.
Hey, Alan. Greetings from Amsterdam. Just thought I'd let Mary know that her doppelganger is here in Amsterdam as well. Currently, it's a prostitute in the red light district who's offering herself up to the world. But, had to do a double, triple take to make sure that it wasn't Miss Mary Santora here in Amsterdam, but just someone who looks just like her. Love me, love you, hate the show.
That guy had to do, what time is it in Amsterdam?
I don't know.
What time is it now?
Did that come through now?
Yeah. So this guy saw someone in the red light district.
It is 9:31 p.m.
And he had to wonder if our own Mary Santora had scrapped her plans to go to New York and instead
took all my savings.
Because didn't they move the red light district? I thought they were finally in Amsterdam. They'd finally had enough, and they're trying to get like a football teams want to move out to the suburbs. It's like they want to get the red light district outside of Amsterdam city limits now, so people got to haul ass to. But that's the only thing people go there for is hash and hookers.
But with weed being legal now everywhere, most places, how many people are really going over to the?
Well, yeah, maybe right now, but I mean,
I know
Amsterdam's a whole. I've never been, but my wife's been. It's a whole other universe. Or it has been, as long as anybody listening right now can remember. But there's a lot of, even Amsterdam has gotten to the point where they're like, enough, we can't. That's the other end of, if you look at places legalizing marijuana 40, 50 years down the road, you end up with Amsterdam. And even they've gotten to the point where they're like, we've had enough. However they say that in Dutch. And they're trying to move.
So why can't you remember that Reggie Miller's retired?
You know Dutch.
Yeah, because I can't explain how my brain works.
But no, I am not currently selling my body in Amsterdam.
She's not currently
Not yet.
a prostitute, a comfort woman.
I added a late show December 28th at Hilarities at 9:45 p.m. So if you
Selling
buy
her
tickets
jokes.
to that, then I don't have to sell my body. I can just sell my jokes and my CDs.
Yep.
But maybe,
That's right. Mary Santora's new album, Just Sell Your Jokes.
No, Cody said something at the top of the show that sounded like an album title, and we skipped over it.
What did
Damn
I
it.
say?
No, you said two things back to back that sounded like an album title, and I can't remember what it was. And this is not adding to the content of the show, so I apologize. Doesn't matter.
What did Poundcake, because we're not going to know.
No.
He sure as balls is not
I
going to
wasn't
know.
certainly
listening.
do not know.
He does not know what he said. All right, so just to be clear, Mary is not moonlighting there in Amsterdam
She is not.
as a prostitute.
Right here in real time, hanging out with you guys.
Uh-huh. I'm curious how, I've never had an MRI done, but I am
Not
curious.
fun.
Huh?
It's not fun.
You've had one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Everyone
got
I-
one when my eye stopped working.
Everyone I know who has had to have one, they hate it.
Is
You
that
have to
the one that makes a lot of noise?
They
It goes clang,
put you
clang,
in-
clang.
They put you in a tube.
You have to
they
be
say,
very,
don't
very still.
move
Yep.
for 45 minutes, and then you just hear boom, 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 boom,
and
boom,
Alan, I
boom.
don't know if you're claustrophobic, but
There's one more sound.
Say it
Poundcake.
again. Say it again.
What?
You don't know if he's what?
claustrophobic?
Try it again.
Claustrophobic.
Try it again. You keep saying the same thing over.
Well, I don't know the other one. What is it? What is the correct way to say it?
Tell me.
We've done this word before.
We have done,
We have
this,
done
word
this
before,
word before.
and you didn't listen.
Claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic? Scared of Santa?
Oh,
Or
Christmas is
talents.
coming early.
Or talons or white claws. You could be claustrophobic.
I know a lot of people that are claustrophobic.
I only drink Truly. I'm claustrophobic.
High noon now.
What's the word? I don't know if you're fill in the blank being in an MRI machine.
I was.
Cody, what's the word?
I don't know. I've been
You're
saying
thinking
it wrong.
claustrophobic. Would be
Claustrophobic?
claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic.
Yes. There's a T and an R in there. that you wanna leave in.
Claustrophobic.
There you go.
I don't know if you're claustrophobic, but you will be in that machine.
I am not. But what I don't understand is how people keep getting their guns into
Their body.
the MRI room. When you now, granted, all they do, because I think when you go to these places, they have not yet gotten to the point where they have these hospitals and exam rooms and, medical facilities. They need to get up with the times in which there's a lot of people terrified in every situation they're ever in. They got to be strapped to go grocery shopping. They got to be strapped to go to the gas station. They're terrified of everything. And so they're always packing. All they do now when you go is they ask you if you have a firearm. And of course, it doesn't happen all the time, but it certainly happened more than once. This woman in Milwaukee or Waukesha or somewhere in Wisconsin, they ask her, nope. And you would take them at their word. Because what kind of moron would have a gun under their clothes when they're going to get an MRI?
What kind of moron wouldn't have a gun when they're getting an MRI? That's when you're going to need it the most. When
You're the most
you're in a place where you
susceptible.
can't have a gun, right?
Well, also, they probably figure that the magnets are going to activate the nanopods in the vaccine, and so they're going to shoot them out of their body. I don't know
Is
what
that
the hell
how
they're
magnets
thinking.
work? I don't know.
I don't know either. I've
Also-
asked a certain group of people a million times.
Air and dirt. In magnets, how do they work?
But also,
They're not vaccinated.
I have to think that these people don't know what the M stands for. Because why would you do this? This happened last summer to some dude, and now this woman in Wisconsin, a 57-year-old woman who went in to get an MRI. And they asked her, just as standard questions, do you have a firearm on you? Nope. Are you carrying any weapons? No. And these days, you don't even need a permit. So they're like, whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets in the thing, and obviously, it makes the gun fire because of the magnets. So she shot herself in the ass. And fortunately, she's in the hospital. They just
Of all the places to get
they
shot.
move her to another room, and they check her, and they go, you know.
But just why would she say no?
Why
I
lie?
don't
Yeah.
understand.
Because I don't think it's a combination of
infringing on her rights, of course.
people
You're
who
not
are
allowed to ask me that.
terrified of everything, and I don't think she knows what the M stands for. Because if you did, why would you ever do that? So last year, whenever it happened, some dude, his gun, he was going to his mom's MRI, and his gun fired and shot him in the stomach, and he died. You don't want to get shot in the stomach.
No.
This lady,
I don't want to get shot at all.
Right.
you know, people go, if you have to get shot somewhere, you don't want to get shot there. You want to get shot in the hospital. So I think it's a combination of being in a constant Fox News-induced fear about the world around you and not knowing what an MRI is. And I don't know who should be explaining that.
Well, I don't know what.
Do you have a gun on you, ma'am? Which is just a ridiculous question to have to ask a grown human being in a hospital. But you have a firearm on you. No. Okay,
And then
because
you're lying
if you
about
do, if you do,
Are you sure?
it could go, not only shoot yourself, you could shoot the person, you know, checking you or
Or ruin the machinery. Like, I'm sure people would be more pissed. Like, screw it. I've been shot before, but I don't want to pay $100,000 for a new MRI machine.
yeah, those aren't cheap. So, yeah, it's pretty wild. Gesundheit. And again.
My goodness. Thank you.
Mhm.
You get 2 times, and then it's a screw you.
Whoa. You didn't say it at all. What are you talking about?
You didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, usually when people
So
sneeze,
you wait for someone to sneeze twice
It's
and
bless-
not say anything. You go right to screw you.
And then on the third one, he doesn't say bless you at all. He just says screw you.
No,
on
I'm
the
saying
third
usually it's a bless you. Like, all right, then F you. Like,
That's enough.
You get 3
I
times.
mean, I don't even say bless you because that's just my deference to what people might or might not believe. So I say Gesundheit. But to go from bless you to F you seems like a real.
3 times.
That's
you're
a
just
hard
seeking for
180,
attention.
boy. What?
3 times you're just seeking for attention.
Or they have an allergy, perhaps.
Oh, what am I allergic to?
Yeah.
People showing care for you.
What?
They're saying bless you.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, people are like, Cleveland Clinic has a metal detector going into the ER and things like that. I just don't know. Do they put you in a gown for an MRI?
Yeah.
So
Like,
where was she hiding
I was
this
already
under
admitted
the
though,
gown?
so I don't. Maybe not for everybody, but for me, I was.
You would think
in a
they would,
gown.
though, because you got like your zipper on your pants or belt buckles or like any of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Just if you have to have an MRI for anything, just be careful. Ask more questions. The M stands for magnetic. And
Leave your gun at home that day.
act according. Yeah, just,
or
you
even
know,
in the car.
don't hurt yourself. Leave it in the car. There
Even
you
in
go.
the waiting room, just be like, "Here, kid, hold this while I go get my MRI."
Tape it under a chair.
There you go.
Yeah, just hide it in a bush.
My ex did that when we went to the 9/11 memorial. The first time we went to New York City, he buried his knife outside, like because he didn't want anyone to steal it. And they told him he had a knife on him, and there you have
There's
to
a
walk
metal
through.
detector.
Yeah, at the 9/11, like it takes you all the way up, and you can there's like
Okay.
an observation deck and stuff. And they were like, they're confiscating it, like no, stupid Cody's in my head, confiscating
Don't
it.
blame me.
Confiscating it.
She can absolutely blame you, by the
She
way.
can't blame me.
You've put these things into
No.
people's heads.
You
Yes,
either
you
know it
have.
or you don't. It ain't
And
got nothing to
you
do with me.
and you giggle every time I play a call from somebody that goes, "I heard Poundcake, and now I'm mispronouncing words."
Confiscate it.
So instead of throwing it away or whatever, he like walked around the side of the building, dug a hole in the dirt next to a bush with his hands, and put his knife in there. I was like, you see how much more sketchy that looks? Like you're burying weapons outside?
At the 9/11 memorial.
Yes. Yes.
Never forget where you buried your knife. I got a break here. If you want to send a text, 35192. AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch live, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. and everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
Buzzard